Hi, this is Ahmed Thinks Blue. I'm going to go through the top 20 free agent lists and my predictions of where they're going to land and why I think so. Let's start with Kyle Tucker. I don't think he's the number one free agent. I think Bo Bichette is. I think Bo is a lot better of a hitter, more of an impact bat. But we'll just go with starting with Kyle Tucker, anyways. And so Kyle Tucker, I believe the only team dumb enough to sign him to the kind of contract that he wants is the Skankies. Skankies will be desperate with all the moves that Blue Jays are going to be doing, and the Red Sox as well. I believe is going to jump in there with a bunch of moves this winter as well. Uh, I think the Skankies are going to be desperate, and when they're desperate, they overpay. They're going to give him 10 or 11 years and close to $400 million. He is not an impact that people think he is. He's a good role player, and that's pretty much it. He should be getting belly money, but instead he's going to be getting paid superstar money. The next up, I thought Framber Valdez would go to the Blue Jays. My predictions, I made these predictions before Dylan Cease happened. So, yeah, I was wrong, but I'll change it on the fly here. I think Framber Valdez, I would love to see him now go to the Red Sox. I want to see the Red Sox have a three-headed monster to go up against the Blue Jays and make that a fun division race, and also kick out the Skankies. I don't want the Skankies anywhere near the playoffs. I think it would be great if they missed the playoffs. And if Red Sox and Blue Jays are all loaded up, then the Skankies will go bye-bye. Framber Valdez also is fortunate that Dylan Cease signed early to a $210 million deal. I believe that $210 million deal is the salary floor for Framber Valdez. Dylan Cease is not a number one. He has ace type stuff, but he walks too many people. And Framber Valdez is a true number one. He is a true ace, a workhorse, and he's going to get more than $210 million now because of that Dylan Cease deal. Probably get close, in my opinion, to around $300 million. That fastball that he has going high from on the same tunnel as his cartoonish um, video game style curveball come out of the same tunnel, and hitter has to respect the fastball, and then all of a sudden they get this huge curveball. So I think he is that is what makes him a number one, in my opinion, and he is unhittable when he is on because of those two pitches. So look for him to get a huge mega deal. I'm hoping with the Red Sox to give him that three-headed monster, and then the Blue Jays have their three-headed monster in Gosman, Yasavage, and Dylan Cease. Next up, Cody Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger will go to the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are a perfect fit for him, and he's a perfect fit for the Blue Jays. Why? Here's why. So, Cody Bellinger has seemingly, although it's just 1 year, it seems that he has figured out how to strike out less. His plate discipline has increased. Yes, he was beneficiary of that short porch in New York, but that doesn't matter. That's not going to matter to the Blue Jays. He's going to hit less home runs. Blue Jays will be fine with that, but they're going to be really in love with his plate discipline. That's going to fit in perfectly with the Blue Jays, in my opinion, because that is the kind of offense that the Blue Jays have, is an offense that prizes plate discipline, striking out as few times as possible, and that's what Cody Bellinger will give them. Um, as far as the risk, yeah, there's risk involved because it's only 1 year that he's figured this out. When he was with the Dodgers, he struck out a holy crap bunch of times. Um, but with the, I believe in the hitting coaches that the Blue Jays have, that they're going to help him maintain that level of plate discipline. So that's why I think the Blue Jays are a perfect fit for him. He will sign for probably around 5 or 6 years, in my opinion, for around $165 or so million. So, but I think that would be a better signing for the Blue Jays than Kyle Tucker, since Cody Bellinger um, struck out even less times than Kyle Tucker and has a little bit better plate discipline. Plus, Belly is great in the outfield, so he can play center field for the Blue Jays. Dalton Varsho can move over to left field, keep Barger at right field, and that would be one of the best defensive outfields in the major leagues. So moving on, Alex Bregman. I think Bregman has a chance. Well, because guess what? The D-backs, they need a third baseman. They've got some money freed up. I think there's a chance that he signs with the D-backs when things start getting heated up this winter, especially at the winter meetings. I think they might give him that big deal and help him get in contention, especially if they end up trading off Marte, which I think is a long shot. But if they do, they're going to need another bat to fill in there. So Bregman is a decent contact hitter. I think he'll fit the D-back mode pretty well. Next up, let's go with Tatsuya Imai, the Japanese pitcher. He is going to demand probably about $135 million over 6 years. I think he goes to the Mets. He wants to go to a team that will face the Dodgers a lot, and especially in the postseason. I think the Mets, if they make the right moves, can contend again. They got to fix their clubhouse chemistry, though, because it's rotten over there. If he doesn't go to the Mets, I think he might go to the Giants, because he will play the Dodgers a lot if he goes to the Giants, being in the same division. And he said it himself, he wants to take down the Dodgers, which is kind of egotistical. And you know what? He can say whatever he wants to say, but I feel like he should keep his mouth shut, join the league first, and actually have some success, and then maybe he can talk. But to say it now, you're just giving fuel to the Dodgers, and you know what's going to happen when you do that. They're gonna strike you down. Next up, Dylan Cease. I had him going to the Red Sox. I wanted him to be part of the three-headed monster there. They were setting up a rotation with three. If they got Cease, they would have had three of the top strikeout artists in the league. I think that was a big miss by the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays stole them away. But that's what happened. And with Cease, you're getting ace type stuff again. Blue Jays will be very happy with him, especially if he can decrease his walks. Next up, Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette is going to the Dodgers. I really believe that. I'm hoping, I'm manifesting that. I'm a Dodger fan through blue all the way. And I think the Dodgers need that in their lineup. They need more of a contact hitter type of guy with power, because Bo's got that in spades. And I'm just really hoping the Dodgers steal him away from the Blue Jays. It's going to be a betrayal for Blue Jay fans. I'll do a whole thing once he signs with the Dodgers. I'll do a moment of silence for them, because they're going to deserve it after the pain of losing Bo Bichette. But Bo will play second base. I cannot see him playing shortstop for the Dodgers, though. He'd have to agree to that move because Mookie is elite and he is not at shortstop. So they'll move him to second base, and then after Muncy is gone after next year, they could potentially move him to third base and keep him there for the long term for the rest of his contract. So there's options with Bo. Dodgers like that. He has positional versatility, I'm sure, because they love positional versatility. But that's Bo. So hopefully he lands with the Dodgers. I mean, I do admit that he might go back to the Blue Jays because of Vladdy, and he loves playing up there. But to have the chance to join a legendary team, who could turn that down? Next up, Kyle Schwarber. I think if they lose Bo, they're going to need to replace him somehow. They've been looking for somebody to go and protect Vladdy, especially a left-handed bat. Who better than Kyle Schwarber? They can DH him. They can move Springer to left field. Since Springer will be better out there in left field, I don't know. They would have a log jam if they also sign Belly, and so maybe they can trade Dalton Varsho and use him as trade bait for some bullpen help. But I think Schwarber would be the perfect complement to Vladdy. Why? Well, think about it from the opponent's standpoint. Is an opponent going to walk Vladdy to get to Schwarber? I think that happens 0% of 0% of the time. That is just not going to happen. You will never walk Vladdy to get to Schwarber. But right now, people are willing to walk Vladdy because there's no one there to protect him. Schwarber will be that protection that he needs. Vladdy gets more pitches to hit. Vladdy hits more home runs and has a bigger year next year if you have Schwarber behind him. So look for that. I know I haven't seen anything about Blue Jays being interested in Schwarber, but that's my out of left field kind of prediction right there. Next up, Pete Alonso. I think he'll return to the Mets. I'm skeptical about that a little bit because of the clubhouse issues. Seems like maybe people are starting to leave or want to leave. Edwin Diaz opted out of his deal. So maybe he saw something there in the clubhouse that he doesn't want to be a part of. Maybe Alonso sees the same. But I don't think there's going to be really a big market for Alonso. It looks like Red Sox might be offering him a huge deal. I heard that lately. So we'll see. Could be Red Sox swooping in there to get Pete Alonso, but I think he goes back to the Mets. Next up, Munetaka Murakami. I think he will go to the Mets as well, especially if they end up losing Pete Alonso. I think he'll come over from Japan and slide right into first base, but he can also play third base as well. But scouts predict that he'll be better at first base, so that might be a good backup plan for the Mets. So right now I have him going there. Next up, Ranger Suarez. I think he stays with the Phillies. You've heard that here first. Phillies, they can't lose all of their free agents. I already have them losing Schwarber. I think they will lose Schwarber. They got to keep at least their pitching intact, and then with Ranger Suarez, he's the number one. So he's gonna anchor the entire staff. So I see him going back there. Next up is Zach Gallen. I think he's going to go back to the D-backs, maybe on a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal. D-backs are desperate for pitching. He's a veteran pitcher. He had a bad year. I think he ends up going back, and he declined his $22 million option, so I think he's trying to figure out if there's a market for him out there. I don't think there will be. I think he ends up going back to the D-backs. Next up is Edwin Diaz. I want him as a Dodger. He's on my vision board to be a Dodger. His electric entrance, his confidence going out there to close out games. Dodgers need that because they have Tanner Scott. He doesn't have the confidence for the 9th inning. We all saw what happened to him in the 9th inning, and it was terrible. Dodgers need a number one guy to go to. I think they go with Diaz, and I think he's going to bring the fire. Next up is Michael King. Blue Jays are still looking to replace another starter. They need to replace Scherzer. I don't think Scherzer goes back to the Blue Jays because he wants to start most of the time, and still think he's got it. He did not have it in the regular season. He pitched decently well in the postseason, but he did not have it in the regular season. He had an over 5 ERA. He's done. He's washed. He still thinks he can do it. He's going to end up probably signing with some team like the Angels or something who are going to give him the opportunity to start. but I don't think it'll be the Blue Jays. Blue Jays know that they have to get younger. They can't just go and stick with some old butt like Scherzer. And here, in order to get younger, Michael King. I think Michael King is right up their alley. He was teammates with Dylan Cease. He's a professional guy. He's humble. He does his work. He seems like the perfect Blue Jay to come in and take that number 4 spot in the starting rotation. So look for Michael King to become a Blue Jay, and he won't cost as much either. Eugenio Suarez, I think he ends up going back to the Mariners. He's taken his time. He's probably seen what his market is like. He's played with the Mariners before last year, so he has that familiarity with them. He's a frustrating hitter to watch because he strikes out so damn much. But I think Mariners like him too. I think it's a good fit there. He'll get a 2 to 3 year deal with his age. Probably seen if he can get a longer term deal, but I don't think any teams are going to bite on that. So 2 to 3 years, look for him to go back to the Mariners to be with Josh Naylor again. Next up is Devin Williams. Dodgers have said over and over this postseason that they're going to remake the bullpen. They're going to get a couple right-handed high leverage relievers. As I mentioned before, they'll get Edwin Diaz. I'm hoping for Devin Williams. Devin Williams had a low-key good season last year. His ERA doesn't show it, but his fielding independent pitching staff does. He had an under 3 ERA if you take away the defensive contributions on his ERA, which is stellar. He also did not allow a lot of home runs. He's very good at home run prevention. Dodgers need that in a bullpen. Their relievers allowed a ton of home runs. So they need somebody to lock down the late innings. He's the perfect setup guy to Edwin Diaz. Moves everyone else in that bullpen down a notch, and probably to a better position for them to succeed as well. So I'm hoping for Devin Williams as well to be in true blue. Next up is Kazuma Okamoto. I think he's going to go to the desperate Yankees. They're looking for a third baseman. They're going to lose out on Murakami. Okamoto is going to be that backup for them. And he's going to come in. I like Okamoto. Okamoto has more of a chance, according to scouts, to make an immediate impact. He's a better contact hitter. He's got pop in his bat. I think he'll probably top out around 20-25 home runs at the major league level, but who knows? After he gets acclimated, he might even get to 30. So not as much pop as they're saying Murakami will have, but look for Okamoto to make an impact. And Yankees need a third baseman. They're going to be desperate to keep up with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Look for him to sign there. Next up, Merrill Kelly, good veteran pitcher. I think he returns to the D-backs. D-backs, again, are desperate for pitchers. I think him and Zach Gallen will anchor that staff. And then you'll see some of their prospects that they traded for at the July 2025 deadline come up and try to make an impact as well. You got Bratt, you got Drake. Those two genuine prospects are going to hopefully make an impact for the D-backs this year. I can't wait to see how those prospects pan out. But they're going to need veterans to anchor the staff. So Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen will be that for them. Look for that reunion. And then Chris Bassett. Next up, Chris Bassett, I think, will go to the Braves. Braves are looking for a starter as well. Chris Bassett is a dependable, reliable starter. He's getting up there in age, so look for it to be a 1, maybe 2 year deal. Braves will jump on it to be their number 4 guy, number 5 guy. Not asking too much for him, but he still got it. We saw in the postseason, he dominated in the World Series out of the bullpen. So he's still got it. I think he goes to the Braves. And then lastly, the Blue Jays need to remake their bullpen. If they don't do it by trade, I think there's a chance that they can get Robert Suarez and Pete Fairbanks. That would anchor their bullpen. It'll move Jeff Hoffman out of the closer role, bring Suarez in, who's getting up there in age. He's still only 35, so he has a couple more good years left. Look for that deal to be 2, maybe 3 years. 2 years preferably because he's 35. But look for him to be the closer for the Blue Jays. And then Pete Fairbanks can be a high leverage righty reliever that they can use as well to anchor that bullpen and that staff in the late innings. So there you have it. That is my free agent predictions. We'll see how it goes. This has been a great winter so far. About to pick up steam. Don't forget that the GM winter meetings are coming up on December 3rd through the 5th. So fireworks are gonna happen